I'm going to start recording this. So if you've been to any of my classes in the past, you know that I'm probably doing these a little bit differently now. Instead of doing one big class with a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of takeaways and a whole list of things for you to do, I'm doing them in little, smaller, condensed classes. This gives you the ability to absorb the information a little bit better, so that you're not overwhelmed, and it gives you a whole week to implement it before the next class. So these are going to be weekly classes. And I'm going to add a couple of things. I've added a couple of slides to this, by the way, and one of them is a shameless plug. So there's some new faces on here who may not know who I am or haven't heard of me. I had some people from Florida on the last class, and I've had some people on YouTube reach out. So I've been a tech nerd for 40 years. 40 years this year, I've been a tech nerd. I've been helping real estate agents in Oregon and Washington with their technology for about 15 years now. I've helped a lot of the top real estate agents here in my hometown of Clark County, or Vancouver, Washington. And so I've been helping real estate agents, mortgage lenders understand and navigate the complex maze of digital marketing. And in June of 2023, I left my corporate job to start my own marketing agency. And I'm also a part of the KFA Real Estate Club. If you don't know what KFA is, or if you don't know much about them, our goal is to just bring the real estate community together through classes, masterminds, events, coaching sessions. Think of us as a big family in real estate. In the mortgage world, we believe in sticking together, helping each other out, and always keeping the faith alive. So that's KFA, keeping the faith alive. And shameless plug part 2, if you want a digital audit of your Google business, you can go to kfaclub.com/marketing. You're going to see a link down there to go in and schedule a one-on-one with me. So if you want me to do a quick audit of your Google business, I did 7 of them yesterday. They take about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll just give you some quick pointers. We'll check your work, see how you're doing, see how you're ranking. So it's kind of a fun little experiment. And then last shameless plug. This is the quarterly mastermind event that's coming up very, very shortly. I think it's 1 month from today. Is today the 16th or the 15th? It's today's 16th. So if you want to, here's the KFA AI quarterly mastermind is coming up. If you want a glimpse into the future of AI and real estate and where it's going to be and where it's going and how AI is going to impact your business, then this is the event that you want to go to. Ironically, I'm going to be debuting my AI tech platform that I've been developing for 3 or 4 weeks now, specifically for the real estate industry. The goal with this AI product was to replace a marketing agency. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, but Larry, you own a marketing agency. Why would you create a product that replaces it? Because I think AI can replace a lot of things, and a marketing agency is just one of them. So if you come to that event, you're going to get to see, you're going to be the first ones to actually see it in the real estate community. It's kind of fun. So this class today we're going to do is on services and custom services specifically. The first one that we did was the complete your profile. The next one, last week, we focused on citations and how to make sure your name, address, phone is set up. This one, we're going to talk about custom services. And at the end of each session of these 10, 11 sessions that we're going to do, I want you to come away with a solid understanding or a blueprint of, what to do and the tactics to utilize to get you to show up. And ironically, these are the same exact tactics. Like I'm taking you literally step by step through the exact process that I use in my marketing agency business when somebody hires me to pimp out their Google business profile. This is the exact strategy that I'm using right here that is not only working for a lot of local real estate agents, but several across the country who've hired me as well. And if that's something you want to do, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help you facilitate that. But these classes were meant for kind of like the DIY, if you just want to go in and DIY it yourself. Absolutely. These are all going to be recorded. They're all on my YouTube channel. If you haven't been on my YouTube channel yet, it's the little YouTube channel that could. It's not very big, but I'm growing it. So they're all over there. I'm going to have all 10 or 11 classes in there as well. They're going to be in a playlist, so you can go through them one by one. These classes are like just going to be quick 30-minute classes. That's the intention with these. Okay, so let's get going. All right. So the changes we're making today are going to do one of two things. They're either going to help you improve your ranking on Google search, which is super important, or they're going to help with conversion. And I think a lot of people underestimate the conversion part of it. And what I mean by conversion is when somebody finds your profile on Google Business. They find you, then they click on your profile, and then they call you from your profile. Those are called customer interactions. And so those customer interactions are what we're going to call conversions. It's converting those visitors into actual customers. Okay. So that means, the changes aren't always going to help your ranking, but they are going to help you in your conversions. Okay. So when it comes to ranking, there's a couple. Here's the bad news with services is they're not big on the 149 different local pack ranking factors according to Whitespark. It's number 81 and 110. So keywords in Google Business Profile services used to be ranked way higher. I used to stuff keywords into Google Business Profile descriptions all the time. It worked like magic. It's a little lower. I think Google caught on and was like, oh, too many people are doing this. Maybe I did too good of a job. But the presence of your Google Business Services is 81 out of 149. So maybe a little lower than halfway down the pack. And while that doesn't necessarily help you rank, what it does is it helps your conversion factors. So according to Whitespark, they have a whole list of these conversion factors. And as you can see, number 18 is the presence of provides, justifications, and local search results. And I did that video yesterday on my social media. I put it out there about like what are justifications and how do they work. We're going to talk about them here in a second too. But you can see like the presence of Google Business Services is 35 out of 100. So up near the top. And then keywords in Google Business Profiles are something that helps you with your conversion. Now, let's quickly talk about justifications. Oh, and if you want to see this list on Whitespark, there's the QR code right there. If you scan that QR code, it's going to take you to that list on Whitespark. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put a link down below. So justifications, let's talk about justifications really quick. So justifications are tiny snippets of code that Google has pulled out. Okay. And these justifications are what Google uses to justify why a particular search result is relevant. So these little snippets can come from a whole bunch of different places on your Google. They can come from your products. They can come from your posts and updates, your website. The one that we have a lot more control over, and a lot of those we don't have control over. This one we do have control over because this is, and you can see right here, provides relocation assistance right here. That is a service that is listed on this business profile right here. So if somebody's searching for a relocation real estate agent in your area, or in this case, we used Grants Pass, Oregon. This little snippet of code right here, this little justification shows up when somebody's searching, and that's what's going to help your conversion. That's going to be what prompts somebody to go like, oh, they provide relocation assistance. Click. Now they're on your Google Business Profile where they can take it to the next level. Okay. So these little snippets of code, we don't have a whole lot of control over them, but we do with the services. So that's why I kind of wanted to focus on services today. Now, here's how services work in relation to your Google business. There is a relationship between the service and the category. So each business category that you have selected, and we covered categories in the very first episode. If you have your category selected, in this case, the category is real estate agent, okay? Under each of those categories, Google gives you these predefined services that are attached to that one specific category. So if you have real estate agent as your first one, and you have real estate agency as your second one, and you have real estate consultant as your third category, each one of those categories is going to have these different predetermined, we'll call them pre-existing, predefined. We'll call them predefined. Pre-existing sounds like a medical term. These are predefined services that Google has determined, hey, here's some services that others are using that might be relevant in yours. And they're constantly adding these services. In fact, every time I go into Google, I feel like there's one or two new ones. So if you haven't been in here for a while, it might be a good idea to go in and see what of these predefined services that Google has that are related to your business. Now, you can check as few of these or as many as you want. It really doesn't matter. Here's my opinion. Check as many as you can. and check them all. Even if you don't do commercial real estate, if you put commercial real estate in there as a checkbox and somebody calls you, even if you don't do it, you can refer it to somebody who does. And if you don't do appraisals, I bet you know an appraiser. If you don't do property auctions, you probably know somebody who can, oh, no, you know what? I do know somebody who does property auctions. What kind of houses are you looking for? Oh, I'm looking for these specific houses that are going on the auction. Let me send you a list. What's your email address? Boom, conversion. Okay. So check as many of these that are relevant to your business as possible. Now, what you're going to note is that none of these predefined services have a description, and each one of these can have its own description. So here's relocation assistance. Now, relocation assistance is one of these predefined services that you can add under real estate agent or real estate agency. However, there's no description with it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to add some descriptions to these predefined services. The other thing that you can do, and this is really kind of the ability, this is what's going to set you apart, is these are the custom services that we're going to be able to put in that really separate you from the rest of the pack. If everybody checks every single box on there and they're all offering the same services, which after this class they probably will, we need to find something that kind of sets you apart even more. Okay. And by the way, loan officers, if there's any loan officers on here, I have some bad news. There is, if you're a mortgage lender or a mortgage broker as a category, there are no predefined services for that category, which means you have to create your own custom services to go into your Google business. So, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use AI, our little friend ChatGPT, and I'm going to walk you through the process that I use to go through and add custom services and add descriptions to existing services. Now, services can be found on your Google Business Profile Management right here. Okay. And if you're logged into the Google account that manages your business, you should see this panel right here. If you don't see this panel and you're looking at your business, it means you might not be logged into the right Google account to manage it. So make sure that this is where you are. And we need to see this edit services button right here. So when you hit that edit services, what you're going to see is it's going to pop you over to this little location where you can go in and select your pre-existing one. And here's what I did. I created all of the prompts for you guys for creating custom services, finding what other people are searching for when it comes to these custom services. I created all of these prompts for you. It's on kfaclub.com. And if you go to kfaclub.com and you go up here to the menu, you'll see ChatGPT prompts right there. Or you can just go to kfaclub.com /ChatGPT -prompts. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to put a link down below in the description. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my screen share, and we're actually going to go into a demo on exactly how I do this on an actual live Google business that I'm working on right now. So let's stop share, and I'm going to do a new share here. What do we want? We want Chrome. There we go. So obviously you're going to need a Google business profile. You're going to need to be logged in. You're going to need to be in that control panel right here. Okay. So you're going to have it set up and ready to go. This is one that I'm working on right now. That's in the process of being verified. And I'm going to tap this edit services right here. And you can see these are all the predefined services that I've already selected. Now, if you want to add more services, super easy. We come down to the bottom, we tap this add more services. And here's all of the ones that I have not selected that are attached to this specific category. Okay. Now you could also, and I don't know if you saw this, you can add another business category right here. So I can say real estate agency as well. And look, it gives me a whole new list of services down here. And I can select as many of these or as few of them as I want. And I'm going to come back and edit this later. So I'm just going to select a few right now in the interest of time. Okay, but you'll notice None of these have any descriptions attached to them. So appraisals, there's no description. Now, I'm not saying that it needs a description, but I think a description would be very, very helpful. All right, here's my prompt guide. So if you have this prompt guide up on the screen, I have these prompts predetermined for you. So here's a prompt for custom services, for a buyer's agent, for a seller's agent, and for a pre-existing service description. And the loan officer custom services are down here at the bottom. So the one we're going to use for this one is this pre-existing service description. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to pop over here to ChatGPT, and I'm going to do a new chat, and I'm going to paste it in. Now there's some editing we have to do on here. And here's the editing. I want you to put in your location up here at the top. So if you're a real estate agent in Southwest Washington, if you really want to take it to a next level, if you're a team, you can say act as a real estate team. So we're going to say team. And if you really want to go super advanced, you can say named, we'll say named Larry's real estate. Larry's team. We'll just call it Larry's team. How about that? In Southwest Washington, add a brief description without a call to action to be used in my Google Business profile for the following service. And the service that we're going to add is right here. So let's say it's appraisals. We want to create a description for appraisals. I can put in appraisals here, and I could probably spell it right. And even if you don't spell it right, ChatGPT is probably going to figure it out for you. Now, I'm in GPT-5, by the way, so I'm using the free version, and I'm just going to hit the go button. And you can see, welcome to Larry's team in Southwest Washington. Our expert appraisers provide accurate property valuations for all your real estate needs, serving Southwest Washington with precision and professionalism. Now, I think adding your team name to this could be really, really good, especially for search. So if somebody's searching specifically for your team and you have your team name and all of this stuff stuffed into your Google Business, I think it's going to help out a lot. So here's what I did. I already did this ahead of time. And I said, and this is for somebody that I'm working on down in California. So I'm going to copy this text right here. I'm going to go back over to my Google Business, and I'm going to paste in that description right here. And you can see I only use 235 out of 300 characters. Easy peasy. We'll hit the save button. Now that description right there that service has a description. Okay. And we can go down to the next one. Beach property sales, and go back over here to Google Business and do the same thing. Act as a local real estate team. Copy, paste that in, and we'll say beach property sales. Hit the go button, and lo and behold, coastal homes and embrace the ultimate search and lifestyle. Cool. Now that beach property sales has a description, we paste it in. So you see how easy that is to take an existing service description or an existing service, add a description to it. Super, super easy. And I would encourage you to do that for as many as you can. Like spend an afternoon and go through and check it out. Okay. Let's see. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about custom services. So here's how we do a custom service. Same thing down here at the bottom. These are all of our services. We come down here to add more services. And then you'll see this button down here. This is add custom service. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is we have to put the custom service in there, and then we have to come back and add the description later. So watch this. So I created, this is specifically for a seller's agent right here. So we're going to create 10 custom services for a seller's agent. Okay, watch this. New chat. We're going to paste this in. I'm going to stay in Southwest Washington and brainstorm a list. And actually, I'm going to do a real estate agent named Larry Hales in Southwest Washington. Brainstorm a list of the top 10 services you provide home sellers as their seller's agent. This list will be added to your services in Google Business Profile. Choose the top searched for services that a home seller looks for before listing their home for sale. Add a description of each service up to 300 characters and include keywords sellers search for before they list their home for sale in each description for search engine optimization. Use an informative tone and a concise style. You can change informative tone and concise style. I found it super, super useful for SEO because it's very clear and concise. We don't need to get warm and fuzzy in these descriptions, right? And so if I hit the go button, it goes out and gives me 10. Look at this. Strategic marketing plans, professional photography, home staging guidance, comprehensive online presence, negotiation mastery. Ooh, these are really good. Timely communication. Now, I did this already for one of my clients. And I actually took it one step further. I said, let's go. Come on. Hello? Anybody here? That's weird. Come on, ChatGPT. Hang on. I'm going to refresh my browser in the hopes that I don't lose. Okay, good. There we go. So here's the client that I'm working on. I'm working on their Google business, and this is their buyer's agent. Here's their seller's agent one right here. And I added their team and their team name and their area down here at the bottom, and it gave me 10 more. And then on the interview with the client, I said, what are some other areas that you really want to focus on? And he said, oh, well, I'd like to give advice to first-time home buyers. Okay, we're going to add another service and description for, and then first time or first for sale by owner. Sorry, it was for sale by owner. That's what he was looking at. And so we came up with two different ones. One was advice and one was added the FSBO assistance. So if there's specific services that you want to add in there, you can come in and say, tell ChatGPT, I need another service and description for, and then put it in there. And maybe it's for downsizing. Like I need another description and service for downsizing. Boom. And you'll see, we'll scroll down here to the bottom, simplify your transition with the Stenberg Group, navigate downsizing in San Diego, California smoothly. Cool. So look at that. Awesome. So the ChatGPT prompts, Jace, are on kfaclub.com. And then if you just go up to the menu, you'll see the ChatGPT prompts right up here in the top, and more ChatGPT prompts right here. So kfaclub.com. All right. So now we've got, here's what I'm going to do next. Let's do relocation. No. We're not going to do that one. Let's do, this is for property pricing analysis. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to pop over to add custom service, and I'm going to put in property pricing analysis. Now that it's added, here's the bad news is you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom to find it. We're going to open it up, and this is where I can add the description. So now I'm going to go back over to ChatGPT, grab a hold of this. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to come back over to my business and paste it in just like that. And this one's pretty short, 140 out of 300 characters. If they don't suit your needs, you can go in and put it back in and say, be a little more descriptive and use more than 250 characters. And it'll get pretty descriptive for you. And you can always go in and change and edit these as you see fit. Okay. But that's an easy way to add descriptions to your services and add custom services specifically the custom services that are really going to set you apart. Okay. That's really what we want, is the ones that kind of set you apart, where your specialty is. Like I talked to a real estate agent yesterday, and she said, I really want to focus on downsizing and helping people, find their one level home, or maybe it's moving from Portland to Vancouver and picking the best Vancouver neighborhood. That could be added as a service, is, Vancouver neighborhood guidance could be a service. And then you add a description to it. Okay. And what that's going to do is it's going to show up as a justification when somebody opens up a search and they're searching for that, that specifically. Okay. So I told you today was going to be super easy. Look at that, 25 minutes. I made it through in 25 minutes. This is just super easy, really simple strategy using ChatGPT. Like I said, I wasn't going to go through and add all 20 of them today in the interest of time, but you kind of get the idea. I want to show you really quick. If you're a loan officer on here and you want some loan officer custom services, here's how this one works. We're just going to do a new chat. We're going to paste in the loan officer. You can put in your name up here as a loan officer. You can put in your brokerage, maybe even say like, hey, I have to have my NMLS in there. I don't think you need your NMLS in a description, but check this out. These are ones. There's 10 right there for a mortgage loan officer. And if you say, give me 10 more, boom, it's going to give you 10 more. Debt to income analysis, home buyer workshop. Ooh, that's a good one. Investment property financing. Oh, okay. 203K. Yeah, these are all great. And you can add all 20 of these. And so now when somebody's searching for FHA 20K rehab loans, it shows up. You show up on Google. It's that simple, you guys. It really is that simple. All right. I'm going to stop my screen share here. And we're going to go to Q&A. Let's go to some Q&A. See if anybody's got anything in here. Let's see. Can find all the sessions on my YouTube channel. Yep, this one's going to be on YouTube as well. Mike says already made like 50 services. That's awesome. Yeah. You can do mortgage broker and mortgage lender. I don't know. I think if you're a primary as mortgage broker, you can put mortgage lender in there because I think they fall under the same category. Unfortunately, neither one of them has any pre-existing services. Was there a link to get Google profile review? Oh, okay. So if you want to, kind of insight into next week, what we're going to cover next week is going to be all about reviews, by the way. And the one thing that I'll tell you is here's my analogy. If everybody here does the exact same thing and puts in all of these optimizations, the person who's going to show up higher and rank higher is always the person with the most reviews and the person who with the most customer interactions and the person with the most search score. Yeah, that's who's going to show up first. So if you're looking for your review link, you're going to see it right here on your management profile. I'm going to say it usually says get reviews. Oh, this one's not verified yet, so I can't get reviews, but you're going to see a button right here. It says get reviews. That's where your review link is, and you can send somebody there. Otherwise, here's what I would tell you. Go in and actually tell them to Google search you so that they find you organically, or just send them a link to a Google search with your name on it. And that way they find you organically. I've read reports that if you send them the review link nowadays, Google looks at that as you're priming somebody for that review, or maybe it might even be untrustworthy, like you're buying a review. So, but yeah, next week, everybody, you're going to have to be here because I'm telling you, reviews is the name of the game. This one's going to be a little bit longer. I know today we got to 30 minutes. That's perfect. Next week is probably going to be closer to 45. I did a dry run of it yesterday and it was about 45 minutes. So, but if you guys have any questions, have any comments, want to take it to the next level, you want a digital audit of your Google business, want to see where you rank, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And if nothing else, let's thank for being the old days, refreshers. Cool. Yeah. No more questions. Good. I'm going to end it. Let's go. 30 minutes. Have a great day, everybody.